Hello everyone, my name is Gothic Cowplants and welcome back to Pleasant View. In today's episode, we are renovating the Dreamer's house, which is a long time coming. I'm sorry for this video being out so late. I actually really struggled with this build. I didn't really know the direction that I wanted to go with it, but in the end, I think it came out pretty nice. But I definitely struggled with this one a lot. So there was a whole lot of going back and forth. There were I think 5 hours of footage altogether of me just trying to arrange these rooms and pick color swatches and all that. And I've managed to edit the video down so it's not 50 minutes long. But yeah, I mean it was definitely a process. And another thing I want to mention is, well, I guess I just want to say thank you, first of all, for getting me to, I don't know what I'm at right now. I think over 200 subscribers, which is crazy because literally the other week I had 20. So thank you all so much for subscribing and liking my videos, commenting, all of that. I really appreciate it. And hopefully you enjoy this build as much as you've enjoyed the other ones. I really have enjoyed seeing all of your comments and everything. Um, Another thing I wanted to say was I've been thinking about putting some background music or something in my videos, but the background music that I want to use is the Sims or the original Sims build and buy soundtrack. But I've been looking online trying to get any information I can because I'm worried about the copyright and all of that. So I don't know. I'll look for some more information on that, but I'm just a little bit worried about, facing any issues with copyright. I don't really know, really about all of the rules surrounding that, and I'd rather, not find out the hard way. So for now, you're stuck with just me yapping. But so we're finally moving on to the inside of the house here, picking out wall colors, which took me forever in real time to do. I managed to cut out most of me looking through all the different swatches, but I mean, it took me a long time. Eventually, I settled on that kind of dark teal wall you see there by the front door, which I think the paint that I ended up going with, it's not the same wall texture, but it's the same color, I think, as the paint that I used in Dawn's house. So we're just gonna have to, pretend that's not happening. Well, I mean, I guess it's possible more than one person can use the same paint color, probably not in the same neighborhood, but I mean it's just a game, so it doesn't really matter anyway. And then this living room here, I really struggled with the floor plan of this house as well. I didn't really know because I wanted to put Dirk upstairs because I always thought it was weird that he has this bedroom downstairs. I know it has the bathroom and all that, but it's not big enough to be a main bedroom so you can put a double bed in there. So I always thought it was really weird that that is the bedroom that's downstairs connected to a bathroom, but I ended up putting a little, I guess, office slash painting area for Darren in there. And then it's still got the bathroom attached to it, but I put a door on the other side there in the wall in the kitchen so that you can enter it from there too. So it's a little bit more accessible than just Dirk having his own ensuite. And here we are choosing the paint colors yet again. I spent God knows how many minutes just choosing wall colors in this house. It took me forever. But I really wanted to go with blues, purples, maybe greens, cuz I always color code all of my Sims for some reason. Um, I do it with I did it with the Goths, their whole house is like black and red, and then with the Burb family, all of their stuff is like brown, and they all wear brown, and well, Lucy wears yellow because that's, I guess, the color I've chosen for her. But the Dreamers, I've always seen them as kind of like a blue and purple kind of color. Because I mean, Darren's wearing blue, and the shirt that I chose to put Dirk in, because I changed the outfit that he was in because it just he was wearing like the same outfit as Dustin Broke, and he had the same hair too, so they looked really similar. It was kind of ridiculous. But I gave him a different top. I think it's like a conversion from the Sims 4 high school years. And I gave him like this long sleeve polo that's like blue and purple. You can see him out in the corner over there. He's talking to Darren, who's in his pajamas. But yeah, I always make like the Dreamers' house and everything when I make their house over. I've always done like a blue and purple color scheme, but this time I didn't actually go with like any purple. I went with more of like I guess like a muted green, because that rug that I placed in the living room there, it has that really nice swatch that has like blue flowers and like these light green vines or whatever. And I thought that rug just looked really pretty there, so I kind of based the whole color scheme of the house around that rug. And then this kitchen right here, this kitchen was like the bane of my existence for like 3 whole days when I was working on this house. I could not for the life of me figure out what I wanted to do with like not only the layout of the kitchen, but with like the floor tiles. I had a really hard time choosing. I wasn't like really committed to the backsplash or anything. So, yeah, it was definitely a struggle to get the kitchen together, but in the end I think it turns out pretty nice. At one point I even like put the kitchen like on the kind of the opposite side in that smaller room where I currently have the dining table, but I didn't like that, so I changed it back. And actually I edit the shape of this house, or edit the shape of like the back of the house at some point later on, and do kind of like a bay window area in the dining room. So that gives us a little bit more space, and I think it looks a little bit nicer. Um, so the kitchen and dining room and everything came together in the end. Yeah, here we go. I'm putting that bay window in now. And the roof on this little part of the house back here looks kind of stupid, but that's just because I couldn't fit like an octagonal roof there. So we're just gonna have to, I guess, not look at it with the roof up. But yeah, you can see me here struggling with what tiles to put in the kitchen. And another thing that I did that I actually really liked in this house, though, is I put that glass door into the kitchen, like separating the living room from the kitchen. And I think it looks really nice. Originally, I had like an archway there, but when I was using like these dark black brick tiles, I thought it would be nice like to have that door there, because it looks, those tiles to me like look kind of outdoorish, I suppose. And so I decided, maybe this was like an extension to the house or something, but I mean, I end up changing the tiles anyway and leaving the door, so I guess it doesn't really make sense, but I think it looks pretty nice. And then I struggled also with this TV here because I mean, the Dreamers don't have like a ton of money, which I always found really weird how they're like pretty broke, but like they live in this decently nice house. Um, but I decided to go ahead and give them like that. I think that's one of the most expensive TV sets because it looked the nicest. And I obviously, like, cheated for money on this house. I cheated for money, like, on all the builds that I've done, and I will continue to do so. But I'm definitely gonna I think when I loaded into this lot after Darren paid all the bills and everything, they had, like, 16 simoleons, so I'm gonna put them back at 16 simoleons. So we're definitely still gonna struggle, but, I mean, at least now we're struggling in a nice house as opposed to an ugly Max's house. And I struggled with putting this dining table over here because there's, like, no room really in that little area, even though I, like, extended it with that bay window, there's just not a ton of room. So I don't know if Sims can actually go in and out of that door, and I put curtains over that door as well, so that might pose even more of an issue, but if they can't go in and out of that door, there is another door in, like, the office room that they can get to the deck with, so it's not that big of a deal. But, I mean, hopefully they're able to use it, but honestly, I kinda doubt that they will be. And then I wanted to put a bar area in this space against this wall because, I mean, there's just really nothing to put there, it's kinda awkward. But all the bars were, like, too wide, so I end up using that, like, one tile bar that came with I don't actually know what it came with. It came with something. But it had, like, kind of an ugly, like, light wood not ugly, but just not right for this house, like, the light wooden color that it came with, so I downloaded some recolors for that, and that is, like, I think one of the finishing touches I do on this house, but now I'm in this office area. I'm putting a little computer desk and everything, and I used this one that's, like, got all the paint splatters on it, and the chair has the paint splatters as well. And I'm really proud of how this room came out, especially. I'm proud of all of the house, but this room and Darren's room, I think are my favorite places in the house. Of course, I used a lot of custom content. I use a lot of custom content in all of my builds, which is like the only thing that is stopping me from uploading them anywhere. Because I've seen a few people ask, like, if I have or if I've put any of my builds up for download. I haven't yet because I don't like, there's so much custom content that, like, if you download it and put it in your game, unless you download, like, every single piece of custom content that I have, like, you're gonna be missing a lot. So I haven't put anything up to download, but I might could I don't know, I'm trying to think. I guess I could maybe make, like, a Google document or something, like, with all the links or whatever to all the different CC that I have or that I use, like, in the houses at least. And, like, I think you have to have, like, an invitation or a code or something to join SimFile Share. So I don't know about that, but I mean, I can put them I'm sure I could work something out. So if you guys have any suggestions for where I could upload these builds or if you think it would be worth it for me to upload them, let me know. Because, I mean, I'm not really doing much with, like, the bones of the house, I guess. I'm just, like, redecorating the inside. Like, some of the stuff that I use is actually in the game, but, like, a lot of it, especially, like, all the cluttering I do, I use the one more slot placement things, like those little purple squares you'll see me using, which if you don't have that in your game, I would definitely recommend that as, like if you don't play with any custom content whatsoever, which I know a lot of us now, like, kinda have to have custom content because the game, like, doesn't run without it or without, like, mods and all of that. But if you are, like, anti-custom content and just like to play the vanilla game, one piece of custom content that I would recommend is the one more slot placement because that, like, changes the game when it comes to cluttering and all of that. I use it like all the time. I'm constantly putting things like in locations that I wouldn't have been able to put them without the one more slot placement. So that's like one of my favorite um, pieces of custom content for the game. It's like a godsend, literally. So I definitely recommend that. And here in the office, I'm putting these little shelves by this door, which I'm a little bit worried about them not being able to walk in here. I mean, honestly, the Sims 2 Sims are like kind of smart when it comes to that, though. Like in The Sims 4 and The Sims 3, the routing I think is a lot worse than the routing in The Sims 2. Like The Sims in Sims 2 I mean, they can get around. Like they know where they can go and where they can't go, and it's like when you have like a baby xylophone on the ground or something in the game, they'll step over it. Whereas in The Sims 3 or The Sims 4, if you have like a toy or something like placed on the ground, a sim like can't step over it, like they'll complain about being stuck. So I mean, that's a really nice feature. Just another one of the things that I love about The Sims 2 is the Sims are smarter, which is ironic because like the whole campaign for The Sims 4 when it was first getting released was that the Sims were all super smart and they have like all their emotions and all that, and it just kind of ended up being like this big flop. So hopefully they won't make that same mistake in The Sims 5, but they probably will. So we'll just stick to The Sims 2 and The Sims 3. But this coffee table here, I really had trouble like putting clutter on because I didn't really know what to put there. Like I was looking at putting like a stack of magazines, but Darren and Dirk don't really strike me as people who would read magazines. They're more people who would just like bust out an encyclopedia and just start reading that for fun. So I put them some little books and like a plant, and that's it. And then originally in this kitchen, I had those two bookshelves, but I decided that there were like way too many bookshelves in this house. So I put that aquarium over there instead, and I think it looks pretty nice. And there's that bar that I was talking about. As you can see, it comes in like that light wood color, but I changed that at the end when I finally download some recolors for it. And one thing that I did cut out of the video that I want to just specify is most of the bathrooms. I recorded myself doing like one of the bathrooms just so you could see like the decor of at least one of them close up, but all the bathrooms are pretty similar anyway. So I didn't bother like keeping in the footage of me building all of them. But now we're moving upstairs to Dirk's bedroom. We'll probably go back downstairs because I jump all over the place with my builds, but I really, really had a hard time with Dirk's bedroom. I could not find like any wallpaper that I liked at all, even though I have like literally hundreds and hundreds of walls in my game. For a long time, I wanted to try to make this like stripy blue and yellow wallpaper work, but I ended up backing out of that and giving him a different wallpaper in the end, which I'm glad that I did because I really like the wallpaper that I ended up going with. It's like this, I don't know how to describe it. It's like the bottom half is plaid and the top half is like a light blue. You'll see in a second when I change the wallpaper, but I ended up going for that wallpaper, which I really liked. And then I struggled with the like bedding as well because I didn't know what would look good with that plaid wallpaper because normally I'd do like a plaid comforter or something. But I decided to go with plaid walls this time, so that's a little bit different. And in Darren's room here, which is one that I'm really proud of, this is a conversion from The Sims 4, this bed. as well as the comforter. I really, really love that comforter. It comes with one of the beds in The Sims 2. Um, it's like a little, it's a cute little bed, and it's got like this starry night painting for the comforter, and then there's another swatch that has like sunflowers or something. And I always thought that it was like so pretty and really neat, but like I never really got the chance to use it because when I play The Sims 4, like I don't know, I guess I just never really played with any Sims who would be into that type of thing. So now I have it as a conversion in The Sims 2 and I can use it here. So I'm fulfilling dreams that I've had about, the objects I never get to use in the other Sims games and using them here. And speaking of objects from the other Sims games, this dresser and these nightstands are both conversions from the Sims 3 Generations, which I don't know if any of you are, I mean, I'm sure some of you are, if not most of you, Sims 3 fans as well. Sims 3, I think, is probably my favorite game out of the franchise, just because that's the one that I grew up playing. And I really do think that the Sims franchise peaked with The Sims 3. I don't think that, honestly, I don't see us getting many more Sims games, based upon how The Sims 4 and Project Renee and all that, depending on how that's going, or based on how that's going, I don't really see us getting a really great game again anytime soon. So I think that The Sims 3 is definitely where EA peaked with the Sims franchise. Um, just the open world and like all of the gameplay options. I mean, it's just an amazing game. But of course, I adore The Sims 2 as well, obviously, or I wouldn't be, playing it. And The Sims 4 is just kind of there, which sucks because I mean, I remember when The Sims 4 was first announced, like in 2014. Um, I was like really upset, like when I saw that gameplay trailer, or not the gameplay trailer, but just like the trailer in general. Which I think it's because I was like 10 years old at the time and it was something that was different. And then eventually I like grew excited for it and was excited to play it when it finally came out. And I got it for Christmas that year and I played it. And at that time, anybody who played The Sims 4, like when it first released, know that that game, I mean, it was a hot mess. I mean, it still is a hot mess. It always has been, but it really was just not prepared to be released, and it showed. I will say they've made like a lot of improvements over the years. Like they've really built on to base game, but I still just don't think, even with all the expansion packs and everything, it's just not as good of a game as The Sims 2 and 3. I don't like I can't even pinpoint exactly what it is, but I know like pretty much everyone, like this is a very popular opinion in the Sims community. I think I saw somebody online the other day, like on Reddit, say that moving from having an open world and then going back to not having one was like a really big mistake that they made. And I kind of agree with that because that's one thing that I always like complain about when I was playing The Sims 4. I'd be like, "Oh, well, why would I wanna take my Sims, like, off my home lot when I've gotta sit through this long-ass loading screen just to get there?" But, I mean, The Sims 2 doesn't have open worlds either, but I don't know, I mean, this game came out in 2004, and The Sims 4 came out in 2014, so, you'd think that they'd be able to have the technology at that point in time to create a game where there's like an open world or at least an open neighborhood and it doesn't like slowly kill your computer like The Sims 3 does. But I guess not cuz they didn't implement that. Hopefully with The Sims 5 though, although I'm not entirely hopeful about that game either. But I mean, it's still in the very early stages of development as far as we know, so hopefully they'll manage to actually create like a strong game that's worth playing, but honestly, I really doubt it. So here we're in Dirk's room, and this is the wallpaper that I was talking about. I really, really, really love this wallpaper. I downloaded it off of Tumblr. Um, if anybody has any questions as to like where anything is from, just ask me and I know where like I get most of my custom content. So I can always look and like get you a link to it or whatever. But this wallpaper, I know I think it's from like some sort of 1990s vintage type wallpaper download things. I don't really know. I don't know what the hell I'm saying, y'all. But yeah, I gave him these plaid walls, and then I struggled for like the longest time to find a comforter or a blanket that would fit with like these kind of very patterned walls, and I ended up just going with this plain blue one with like the little blanket on it and the little green sheets. I think it looks pretty nice. And then Dirk, his personality, he's like he's very type A. He's very neat, very focused on like school and academics and work. I mean, he's a fortune sim, so, he loves stuff like that. So I didn't make this bedroom look like a teenager's bedroom probably would typically. Because Dirk is a very neat sim. He's not sloppy. I don't think he'd have any clothes on the floor. So I gave him just I kind of tried to make his room look a little bit more meticulous. Like he's got all these little college posters on the walls and stuff, even though he's not like into sports or anything. So he's not like rooting for these football teams or anything. I just think he really values education, and he's got like all of his options for universities he could go to like hung up in his room. So that's my headcanon. Um, and then I put this globe, not that globe. I get this globe from in game and I put it in this little corner. And the legs of the globe or the stand or whatever you call it, it like does not come in a good swatch for this room. So I end up just going with like that little, I don't know if that's like a light wood or if that's gold. I think it's golden, but I don't know. So he has a little globe in his room because Dirk is studious, and then he has tons of books and everything, obviously. I gave him that little, what do you call it? Like microscope thing? I don't know. So yeah, I really cluttered his desk up a whole lot. Or not his desk, his dresser. But I mean, I did clutter his desk a little bit too. I just put like it kind of looks like some homework or something that he has sitting there. And then I put these pictures here on the wall, and I chose a swatch that has a sim, like in one of the pictures that kind of looks like Lilith. So I just imagine, he's got pictures of him and Lilith on his walls or something. And I did manage to let Dirk keep his dartboard. It's very, very important to him. That's like his favorite thing to do in all of the world. So he still has his little dartboard. I put it right there by his door. And yeah, I think that is pretty much Dirk's room finished. And now we're working on, let's see, working on the hallway. This hallway I had a lot of trouble with too because want I didn't want like to have uneven windows or anything, which is actually why I put that master bedroom, or not that master bedroom, that master bathroom right there. Because I originally was planning on just having like one bathroom upstairs, but then the window where that bathroom is in a weird spot, like for the hallway. So I just ended up caving and giving Darren his own little ensuite. But Dirk does have that bigger bathroom right down the hall there, so he shouldn't feel too left out. Let's see here. Putting all the lights and everything, changing roof colors, and then here I really, once again, struggled to find like a floor tile that I like. I end up going with just like these plain not brick stones, these plain like gray bricks or stones or whatever, those ones right there. And then I put a little welcome mat outside and some plants and just stuff you typically keep on the front porch. And outside I did the back porch up a little bit more than the front porch. But I think the front porch still turned out cute. I put these little flower pots that I'm really proud of. And then landscaping too was kind of difficult for me to, landscape exactly how I wanted, which I guess that's like pretty impossible for anybody, but I have always struggled with landscaping. I don't know why. I'm not really good at it. So I did my best and I do my best in all of my builds, but um landscaping is just not my forte. And originally I was gonna have like this whole little section here be gardened and put like a bird bath and maybe some little garden statues out there, but then I decided that I'd have to fill it with like so many plants and I didn't want to sit there and like waste time and risk like my computer lagging or anything like that. So I just kind of gave up on that. Um, but here we are doing the back deck now. Originally in the house, outside there are two like I think they're like the Adirondack chairs like I have over there. Um, and or I don't have them over there. I don't know where they go, or I don't know where they went. But they had like two little chairs outside, so they could go outside and sit together, which I thought was really sweet. So I wanted to bring that back. So I put these two little Adirondack chairs. I put a grill out here and like another easel for Darren. So yeah, I think the house came together pretty nicely in the end. Um, let's see. I was trying to find a table that matched these chairs, but I couldn't find one that came in that blue swatch, so I ended up having to go with like this kind of uglier wooden swatch, but it's fine, I guess. We'll we can grin and bear it because the rest of the house is pretty nice. Oh, and I put like some table and chairs out here as well. Just these nice little iron ones. Um, and yeah, what else do I do? God, I don't even know. I put this grill here. Obviously, I hang up some utensils above it. Maybe that's all their spatulas, knives, whatever. And I put these little rugs outside the house so that you can wipe your feet when you come from outside. And here I give Darren his little painting area. Well, actually, I don't know if I filmed it because I was trying to put a plant there. I remember, and then um, I gave up and put an easel there. So Darren has 3 easels around the house. He has one in his little office area, he has one in his bedroom, and he has one outside on this porch. So he has lots and lots of space to paint and lots of, you know, easels to paint with. But anyway, that is actually coming up on the end of the video here. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope that you enjoyed this video. And again, I hope you don't mind me rambling on and on about things that really don't matter. But yeah, thank you all so much again for all of the subscribers and all of the likes and all of the love that you've given me. I really appreciate it, and it really means a lot to me that all of you have enjoyed my content so far. So thank you all so much. I really appreciate you, and I will see you all next time. Goodbye, everybody.